It's an ambitious target, manufacturing only electric cars, small trucks, and sports utility vehicles just 14 years from now, and becoming a carbon-neutral company 5 years later.
Our vision for the future is a world with zero crashes, zero emissions, and zero congestion.
Reducing reliance on fossil fuel and cutting the carbon dioxide emissions that are warming the planet. General Motors was an early entrant to the green market in December 2010 with its Chevy Volt electric gasoline hybrid. But in 2019, GM sided with the Trump administration to fight strict fuel emission standards enacted by California and followed by 12 other states. Under the new U.S. administration, the trajectory is shifting, says a business professor who was a former chief economist and group vice president at Ford.
So I think what's happening here is a realignment of General Motors, and certainly it's getting its policy or its vision is aligned with where the Biden administration is going.
And where the industry has been moving, though slowly. The startup Tesla has proven that electric vehicles can appeal to consumers, but the U.S. market remains small, note analysts.
Our EV market is only about 2% right now. And the rest of the world, Europe this past quarter hit 10%.
China's EV market is more than 5%. In Norway, the world leader, electric vehicles have a market share of more than 50%. But Americans love big gas-guzzling SUVs and trucks, high-profit vehicles for manufacturers.
Last year, 70% of all sales in the U.S. were SUVs or pickup trucks. So if you're talking about selling electric vehicles, you're going to have to be in those segments.
But it's challenging. When designed as electric vehicles, trucks and SUVs will have slimmer profit margins. Still, GM will release a large Hummer EV pickup later this year and expand its offerings by the end of the decade. Also, batteries for electric vehicles are expensive.
But there is an expectation that the battery cost is coming down pretty rapidly. And then beyond that, as we keep seeing with Tesla announcements, range keeps getting further and further.
Now, recharging stations are limited, especially for long trips. A recent J.D. Power survey shows that worries EV owners.
And likely you'll need government help to get over this chicken and egg problem. And by that I mean is consumers won't buy the vehicles unless there are fuel stations out there. But people aren't going to want to invest in fuel stations unless there are vehicles that will get charged there.
Government incentives, increased consumer demand, improved technology, expanded infrastructure, and price drops. There remain many parts to the puzzle before electric vehicles can dominate the market. Mike O'Sullivan, VOA News, Los Angeles.